Now, the South African Human Rights Commission has condemned the killing of foreigners in Soweto. The violence followed claims that some foreign-owned shops were selling fake and expired goods. Now, several stores in Soweto were targeted by residents. For more on this, I'm joined by Gershel Brooks from the South African Human Rights Commission. Mr. Brooks, thank you very much for coming in. So, beyond condemnation, what else can the South African Human Rights Commission do practically?
I think that the biggest concern for the South African Human Rights Commission is how communities respond to these particular issues, especially since action has been taken. I mean, you would be aware, Collie, that recently in Ekurhuleni, the mayor, along with health inspectors and the Metro Police went out and actually inspected some of these spaza shops owned by non-nationals because of these allegations that we've seen. So in other words, action is being taken. The health department has come out, the National Health Department has come out and said that it should be reported to them as well, you know, when people are concerned about these particular products. So the issue is that action is being taken and appropriate action in this particular instance is being taken.
Has there been clear proof from the South African Human Rights Commission's perspective so far that indeed the foreign nationals are selling expired and counterfeit products?
No, and I think that as far as we're concerned, we know as much as the rest of society does. I'm sure we've seen the various social media posts about these products with weird creatures seemingly swimming in carbonated soda bottles and so forth and so on. But the issue is to what extent they're true, to what extent these aren't hoaxes that are being perpetuated, the whole notion that people have backyard factories where they're manufacturing goods and so forth. If those are legitimate concerns within communities, then those concerns need to be then taken to the appropriate authorities. There's the police service. There's, of course, also what we're cognizant of is the health department, as I said, has come out and said that they would deal with this particular issue. What the South African Human Rights Commission's concern is that all people within South Africa are covered and protected by the rights that are contained within the Bill of Rights. This is clearly an infringement on people's rights when you go and loot. And look at the concern. The concern is that these are counterfeit, dangerous goods. Counterfeit, expired, dangerous goods. But what we saw, the scenes that we've seen of criminalities where things have been looted. So if your complaint is that these are things that aren't suitable for human consumption, then why are they being looted? Why are they being taken out of those stores for consumption at home? So that for us is a concern that we need to stick to the legal framework and still respect the rights of others.
Your voice as a Human Rights Commission, Gershel, how effective is it going to be, given that just this morning we're getting reports that in Umlazi, KZN, there is going to be an inspection by the South African Communist Party through its Young Communist League of these foreign-owned shops, where they're saying that they're going to be making sure that none of these goods that are spoken about are being sold to the public. That's perhaps another red flag to say it might spark something there. How do you then communicate effectively when you have an alliance partner of the governing party actually doing the very thing that I think you seek to stem?
And that is concerning indeed, and especially since the government has come out and said that they're dealing with this particular issue, and that the appropriate authorities, in other words, people who work for the state, who earn a salary, who are then tasked in turn and have the mandate to go and inspect and then take the appropriate action. Apart from that, my issue is this, Collie. You as a consumer, myself as a consumer, if I walk into a store and I see that there are goods that are being sold that are either counterfeit or that they're expired, or there's one or the other defect with those particular issues, my first and foremost duty as a consumer to myself and to my family is not to purchase there anymore. Beyond that,
where do you report, though?
Beyond that is then to report it to the requisite authorities. And in this particular instance, since we do have proactive action coming through from government, where they've said that contact the Department of Health, whether it be at national level or provincial level or in your local community, go to the proper authorities and then contact them. Why do we have community councillors? These are the very people that are supposed to be a conduit and connect people to the various government departments that have this important role to play.
Gershel Brooks, thanks so very much for your time. He is from the South African Human Rights Commission. And of course, the message there, do not take the law into your own hands, but rather make sure that you go and report it to the relevant authorities like the Department of Health in this province.